video. Now, while the girl's features do look a lot like Celeste from what we've seen in the photos, it's really hard to know for sure. A lot of people have said she looks a lot older in these videos, and also her height and weight that was previously described doesn't seem to fully correlate with these images.
A brand new video just hit the internet, and it's causing pure chaos. A girl who looks suspiciously like Celeste was caught on camera pulling up at one of David's concerts, and the internet is going wild. David's reaction? Straight panic mode, like he'd just seen a ghost, in which had fans convinced his story might not be as squeaky clean as he swears it is. And while he's scrambling, detectives seem to be circling closer and closer, like the game is already up for him. This is where things get spicy. So let's break it down. The footage instantly tied back to the heartbreaking case of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the same teen whose decomposed body was found on September 8, 2025, stuffed inside the front trunk, or frunk, of a Tesla Model X registered under none other than rising singer David. The whole city was left rattled when the news broke, and people couldn't believe how dark this had turned. Celeste, a runaway teen from LA, had been reported missing since April 2024, but the last solid proof of her being alive came from a liquor store camera in March 2024. Her mom even went public saying Celeste was dating a guy named David. But here's the kicker: the family never met him once. That single detail had alarms ringing everywhere, and fans were connecting the dots instantly. Now, here's where it gets grim. When Celeste's body was discovered, the Tesla had already been towed to Hollywood Tow on Bluebird Avenue around September 3rd. The car had been sitting abandoned for almost a month in the Hollywood Hills, not far from Doheny Drive. Workers at the tow yard started noticing a sick, foul stench leaking from the vehicle, the kind that makes your stomach turn. Once police popped the trunk, the nightmare became real. Celeste's remains were right there inside the car. But here's the dark twist. This case only gets more disturbing, and every new detail keeps pulling David deeper into the fire. The autopsy results that dropped in late September 2025 threw everything into chaos. The cause of death was put on hold pending toxicology, but one fact was clear. Celeste had been gone for weeks before her body was even discovered. That detail was huge. If she died weeks earlier, that placed her death around late July or early August 2025, long before David's tour had even kicked off, flipping the whole timeline upside down.
Details have come to light surrounding the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. 3 weeks after the body of the 15-year-old was discovered in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to singer David, her death certificate has been released, stating that the teen was not pregnant, nor had she been pregnant in the last year, per the document obtained by TMZ. The report also said an autopsy was performed on Celeste's body prior to it being released to her family on September 23rd, and that the medical examiner is awaiting toxicology results.
Then on September 23rd, the case cracked wide open. Out of nowhere, someone slid into the comments under a true crime post about Celeste, dropping grainy photos and a short, shaky video from David's August 24th concert at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland. The post showed 3 images, one of a teenage girl in a black tube top and dark wash jeans, posted up on a VIP balcony right next to a guy that people swore was David's own brother, Caleb Burke. Within hours, the clip went nuclear. Millions of views were piling up across TikTok, X, and IG as fans spread it like wildfire. The implications had everyone shook. If this really was Celeste at that concert on August 24th, that meant she was alive and moving just 15 days before cops found her body. That detail alone blew the internet apart. Keyboard detectives went full FBI mode, zooming in frame by frame, analyzing everything from the girl's cleft chin, which Celeste was known to have, to the way David's eyes kept darting up at the balcony, like he knew exactly who was standing there. Reddit was on fire with side-by-side comparisons. Celeste's last confirmed photo from the March 2024 liquor store footage, rocking those Hello Kitty sandals, versus the mystery concert girl. Even mainstream media outlets couldn't resist, and soon the whole world was talking. Fox 11 LA dropped a bombshell on September 24th, airing an interview with a shaken parent who didn't hold back, saying, "That girl on the balcony, that's Celeste, no cap." David's interacting with her crew. His brother Caleb's right there. That's chilling, bruh. By the very next day, September 25th, the story wasn't just local, it had gone international, with The Independent in the UK running it front and center. But here's what made this footage so addictive and so disturbing at the exact same time: the timing. Everyone in the comment section was locked on one burning question. Could a body really decompose to that extent in only 12 days? People were split, arguing nonstop, and the speculation just kept building like gasoline on a fire. Now this is where the stakes get real. If the footage was legit, and if that really was Celeste Rivas spotted at David's concert, then the entire investigation would flip upside down. It would prove she was alive weeks after folks thought she had vanished.
Now the timing here is very important because the concert was about 12 days before David's abandoned Tesla was towed from the Hollywood Hills area near his house. Authorities have said that her body was very badly decomposed, which has led a lot of us to believe she would have had to be dead for at least some length of time before they found her. If that was her in the video, this raises the question of whether or not 12 days was enough time for her body to decompose to the state that
it would place her right inside David's circle at his show, possibly hanging with his brother Caleb. That means the timeline of her death shrinks to a terrifyingly small window. And that tiny gap raises way darker questions about what happened in those final hours. The identity crisis had begun. What started as strangers online trying to figure out who was in the video turned into a full-blown digital manhunt. The internet transformed into an angry mob, convinced they were solving a murder in real time. And the fallout was bound to leave scars on everyone connected to the case. The timestamp stamped it clear as day. August 24th, 2025, around 9:15 p.m. Eastern, right in the middle of David's set at the Fillmore Silver Spring, 8650 Colesville Road, Maryland. The spot was historic, a 2,000 capacity venue, packed wall to wall with screaming fans who had paid at least $45 a ticket. Now let me paint the picture of what the video actually shows, because every little detail in those shaky clips matters heavy. The camera pans to the balcony hovering over the stage, and there she is, a young woman who looks anywhere from 16 to 20, leaning against the railing like she owned the spot. She's rocking a fitted black tube top, high-waisted dark jeans, layered necklaces, a whole fit eerily similar to Celeste's old selfies from 2023. She's laughing, phone in hand with a visible cleft chin and straight dark hair parted perfectly down the middle. Next to her, a lanky teen in a hoodie that fans immediately pegged as Caleb Burke, David's 19-year-old brother, plus two more girls in crop tops. But what really sent the internet spiraling wasn't just who was standing there, it was what happened next, mid-song. During Feel It, David freezes mid-lyric, locking eyes on the balcony crew. He points, smiles, and mouths something. You can't fully hear it on the video, but thousands of viewers swore he was saying, "Y'all up there wildin'." Then he waves, and the mystery girl waves back, all excited. Fans later claimed it looked like way more than casual crowd interaction, calling it full-on flirtatious eye contact. That moment added fuel to the theories of a secret connection between David and the girl. And it didn't stop there. Other photos began circulating fast. A blurry backstage shot, allegedly pulled from Caleb's phone and leaked through Discord, showed the girl hugging on Caleb after the concert. Time-stamped 11:47 p.m. on August 24th. Another now-deleted image from the venue's Instagram story captured the whole balcony crew holding glow sticks, looking carefree. The circumstantial evidence kept piling up, fitting almost too neatly into the sinister narrative people were already crafting in their heads. If this really was Celeste, it lined up chillingly with David's tour schedule.
New video footage of a girl believed to be Celeste at David's concert in late August has surfaced, which would be the last date she was seen alive, but the internet is divided on the latest update about this footage. A girl who looks a lot like Celeste was spotted at David's concert on either the 23rd or the 24th of August in Silver Spring, Maryland. She was up on the balcony on the side of the stage, watching on, and it's hard to deny that she resembles Celeste. She looks a lot like her.
Within hours, bruh, this clip went dummy viral. I'm talking major accounts racking up millions of views after posting this video.
Images unfortunately aren't super clear, but her hair resembles the hair we know Celeste had from her photos. And she was also wearing a black tube top at this concert, which is what we know she was wearing when she was found dead in David's trunk based on police reports. In another video, we see David pointing at the girl on the balcony while he makes a half heart. The guy she's standing next to is also David's brother, which raises even more questions, and particularly how much did he know about Celeste and David's relationship?
From August 20th to 28th, he was locked in the Northeast, while his Tesla sat abandoned back in LA, racking up parking tickets on August 28th and September 6th. That detail alone made everything look shady. But here's the kicker most people ignored in the frenzy. The medical examiner's report listed Celeste at just 5 feet 1 inch and about 71 pounds, a build that didn't exactly match what viewers thought they saw in the video. Still, the internet had already made up its mind, and the theories were spreading like wildfire. Facts be damned. Fam, the internet was locked in. The girl in that video had to be Celeste, no questions asked. The idea that it could just be some wild coincidence, another girl who looked similar, was too boring, too unlikely for people to accept when the story was so juicy, and all the puzzle pieces felt like they clicked perfectly. But then came the bombshell that flipped the entire narrative on its head. Proof that online speculation can get real dangerous when the mob mentality takes over. On September 25th, News Nation's Banfield show aired an exclusive that shattered every theory. The girl on that balcony wasn't Celeste at all. She was 18-year-old Mia Lopez, a hardcore David superfan from Bethesda, Maryland. She had pulled up to the concert with her girlfriends, and yes, she had been hanging with Caleb Burke, who she'd linked with through mutual TikTok follows. When Mia saw the internet spiraling, she stepped forward with ironclad receipts proving her identity. She brought her ticket stub showing balcony seat B12, selfies with August 24th timestamps, and even a photo of her venue wristband. Case closed, right? Well, here's where the science sealed it even further. Forensic pathologist Dr. Judy Meek, consulted by News Nation, explained that insect activity and tissue breakdown in the Tesla frunk showed Celeste likely died in late July or early August 2025, weeks before the August 24th concert. That's 3 to 4 weeks too early for her to be the girl in the clip. LAPD even had to indirectly address the viral frenzy in a September 27th press conference, reminding folks that internet theories don't change hard evidence. And yet, even with Mia Lopez's ID rock solid, her selfies public, and her ticket in hand, people online still weren't buying it. The comment sections were full of users insisting they saw Celeste with their own eyes, unable to let go of the haunting coincidence. It shows how powerful that first viral hit was. Even after debunking, the psychological weight of the story kept messing with people's heads. So, where does that leave us? The real case. As of September 30th, 2025, LAPD's Hollywood Division Homicide Unit is still knee-deep in the investigation.
From what I know, wasn't them Tesla vehicles gave the clearest 4K pictures ever of the shooters of Julio? If that's the case, this goddamn Tesla should be the key. If David did this, he's the dumbest thing on earth. Why the hell would you go in Elon's on-road spaceship that records everything and go do a crime and then leave the body in the trunk? They probably got you chopping her up and probably got all type of... This should be pretty easy for the cops to solve.
The case is officially classified as a death investigation rather than a full homicide. But police stressed one thing clearly. Whoever hid Celeste's body inside that Tesla committed a crime, no matter how she actually died. No arrests have been made yet, and police haven't publicly named a single person of interest, not even David. He's been laying low, keeping his lips sealed, and even canceling his U.S. tour dates under the heat of the spotlight. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner dropped Celeste's official death certificate on September 29th, confirming something the internet had been running wild with. She wasn't pregnant and hadn't been in the year prior. That rumor was officially dead in the water. But the bigger questions are still unanswered. The cause and manner of death remain pending, waiting on toxicology and lab results. The autopsy is complete, but the conclusions are on pause until all the evidence comes back, and that's where things get even murkier. Also, on September 29th, LAPD Captain Scott M. Williams, commanding officer of the Hollywood Division, gave a rare on-the-record interview to People magazine. His words shut down the concert speculation for good. He said flat out, "We know for sure that Celeste Rivas Hernandez died and someone placed her body in the front trunk of David Burke's Tesla." He also confirmed the Tesla had been parked in the Hollywood Hills for weeks before it was towed. That means Celeste had already been dead for weeks before her remains were discovered. Williams added that since the cause of death isn't confirmed, no one can say if there's criminal culpability for her death itself. outside of the fact that someone deliberately concealed her body. But LAPD is absolutely still probing whether foul play was involved. And here's why that timeline matters so much. David's Tesla was tagged with parking tickets on August 28th and September 3rd, then impounded on September 6th. That's weeks before the balcony video even hit the internet. Tow yard workers didn't initially flag any odor in the paperwork, but by September 8th, the stench was so strong that it forced investigators to crack open the frunk. And that's when Celeste was found. So where's the focus now? Detectives are moving with force. On September 17th and 18th, LAPD homicide teams executed a search warrant at David's West Hollywood rental home, pulling evidence to piece together what really went down. And trust me, what they found behind those closed doors only raised more questions. Near the spot where the Tesla got hauled off, investigators seized a laptop, a desktop computer, and multiple evidence bags stuffed with items they won't disclose yet. Possibly phones, hard drives, maybe even personal notes. No arrests were made, and David wasn't even present when the raid went down. A separate sweep of the area where the car had been parked turned up more items of interest, though police are keeping those details sealed. What we do know is this: the vehicle itself has become the crown jewel of the entire case. As one investigator put it, that Tesla is the most important piece of evidence we've got. And here's where it gets absolutely wild. The tech. The full forensic breakdown of the Model X has included DNA swabs from the frunk, with leaked reports saying some partial prints actually turned up. Investigators pulled tire tread samples for travel history, app data for location logs, and more. But there's a major limitation. Tesla's Sentry Mode cameras were turned off, meaning there's zero video footage. Instead, detectives leaned on the OBD2 car data, which revealed the last recorded drive was July 28th, leaving David's crib. Subpoenaed Tesla logs showed the frunk was open that same day in Los Angeles, potentially marking the exact moment Celeste's body was placed inside. That detail alone changes everything. The investigation also dug heavy into digital evidence. Subpoenas to Discord, X, and TikTok for Celeste's accounts revealed emo-style posts about toxic love and geotags suspiciously close to David's address. David's phone records are being pulled, and alleged 2023 DMs are now raising disturbing questions about grooming. Witness canvassing in West Hollywood turned up more than 20 neighbor statements describing a teen girl, possibly Celeste, at parties tied to David's circle before his tour even started. And then came another twist. TMZ dropped never-before-seen footage from August 2024, showing Celeste in what looked like a heated argument with an unidentified guy. That clip directly undercuts the missing since April narrative that dominated early coverage. New leads point to Celeste possibly using fake IDs to pass as 19 so she could enter clubs, which could connect her directly to David's crew. Her family has even provided undated photos showing bruises now under forensic review. But here's the real elephant in the room.
And reported on these videos has updated their article to say that the woman in the videos is not Celeste Rivas, according to a source that is connected to the case. So that could potentially be even a police officer that has already looked into this in their investigation. The fact that they very clearly made this update and blatantly said it is not her according to their source connected to the case makes it sound like they are absolutely sure.
The massive damage caused by the viral concert footage. That video not only distracted investigators, but also warped the public's entire view of the case. The misidentification might have been debunked within 48 hours, but by then the damage was already done. That viral clip didn't just confuse the public, it lit a wildfire that burned out of control. Suddenly, suspicions around David skyrocketed, many of them totally unproven, and poor Mia Lopez, who had nothing to do with Celeste's case, got doxxed, harassed, and dragged across the internet before her true identity even came out. Yes, there are legit investigative questions that demand answers, but that balcony video threw gasoline on a blaze of conspiracy theories that distracted everyone from the facts. Instead of focusing on real evidence, people became obsessed with viral clips, Reddit threads, and mob justice. And that frenzy, it may have actually slowed investigators down, making their work harder at a time when every second mattered. This case is a grim reminder of how dangerous digital vigilantism can get in high-profile deaths. Just like the Maury Davis case or the frenzy around Gabby Petito, the public can twist tragedy into entertainment while real families are left begging for justice. Celeste's loved ones have been clear. If you really want to help, drop tips to LAPD at 213-485-2500. Focus on justice, not rumors. Because here's the truth. When we see something that feels like it fits the story in our heads, it's human nature to run with it. But we have to pause and ask, are we looking at actual evidence or just seeing what we want to believe because it confirms our suspicions? That difference can make or break a case. Right now, the case is still wide open. DNA pulled from those plastic bags and Tesla logs are still being analyzed. The next big milestones, toxicology results expected in mid-October, plus a massive digital evidence dump. And if those results point to homicide, brace yourself, because warrants will start flying. David's silence hasn't cracked. Not a word, not a statement, nothing. Meanwhile, Celeste's family is now pushing for federal involvement, fearing the case could stall without outside pressure. And here's the chilling fact we can't escape. A 15-year-old girl is gone. Her body was hidden in circumstances that are deeply suspicious and impossible to ignore. Somebody out there knows exactly what happened. Somebody deliberately placed her inside that Tesla. And justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez will only come from professional, methodical police work that follows the evidence no matter how long it takes. This whole concert footage saga is a warning shot to all of us. In the rush to play detective online, people can do real damage. Innocent lives like Mia Lopez get dragged through the mud, harassed, and doxxed, while actual investigators are forced to waste time debunking rumors instead of chasing leads that matter. That distraction could cost a case and cost justice for Celeste. So let's be clear, this isn't just internet drama. This is life and death. This is about a young girl whose story deserves truth, not clout-chasing theories. And until that truth comes out, the silence around David is only going to get louder, raising more questions than it answers. Thanks for rocking with this deep dive. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think David's silence means something, or is he just lawyered up waiting it out? Smash that like button, share this video with your people, and make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. See you on the next one.